What's our next set?
Our next set is Beanie versus DeathTacticus. Two quite strong players. Also two newer players. Beanie got placed into SCL 6 Silver this past season, and DeathTacticus was a newer joiner, played in Obsidian, I believe. But DeathTacticus, don't let the division fool you. DT won the Summer Cup this past summer.
So I think that I think these players are actually quite similar in skill. The thing is, DT is about as hyped as you're going to get because he just won the most recent tournament. And with some good wins, including one over yourself.
Yeah.
You're always going to take that one to the bank. But Beanie, I think, is on the other end of the scale where I'm not saying DeathTacticus is necessarily overrated, but Beanie's definitely underrated. And I think it's for two reasons. One, they were in the middle of like a very just strong but solid silver. I think they're at like a same sort of level as someone like Nanthless or Hunu, who we just watched. Sped Monkey, just these players that are very good but haven't really made that jump up, and so they didn't really stand out. And also, just if they're in any public discourse, Beanie says that they're worse than they are, and that sticks. I mean, Dells also do the same thing. I think Dells is a fantastic player in their own right. These sort of just people who are just always self-degrading can sneak into these matches, and I think this is actually going to be a lot closer than people would hope. I think a lot of people have their money on DeathTacticus, and I wouldn't suggest it.
I mean, I would. I still think that DT is the favorite in the matchup. Maybe not as strong as a favorite as some people are willing to believe, because because Beanie, you were absolutely right. Very strong player. DeathTacticus has been really just consistent a lot. One of the more consistent newbies that I've ever seen, and of course, getting really strong really quickly.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. Is you can really see the growth, and that's concerning. If you're your opponent, at least, where you can go, well, I know this player was good. Now they're very good. Now they're great. It's only gone up. We have no expectation of DeathTacticus getting worse. You're just hoping that you get great DeathTacticus and not absolutely elite best in the game DeathTacticus, which I wouldn't be too surprised happens in the near future. We're just gonna hope for Beanie's sake it's not this game right now that we have the DeathTacticus.
Yeah, and going into the draft,
second coming out party.
Yeah, draft is important. We might want to go over there.
Nah, screw it. Continue that.
Beanie is going to pick up the ABCs while DT is choosing House Party. DT is going to ban out Balcony, which I think makes sense for DT. Does not want to introduce that kind of maybe randomness into it. However, Beanie banning Modern is a very, very interesting pick. I didn't, you don't really see that many Modern bans, it feels like.
I'm hydrated. I didn't catch any of that. But yeah, Modern's banned, Balcony's banned. Balcony banned is so typical, right? If you are playing this set, you're gonna end up seeing Balcony banned probably more than half the time easily. The Modern ban's interesting. I haven't seen Modern banned much at all. I'm not sure if it's Beanie not liking it or just thinking that DT is very good at it.
Yeah. Nevertheless, though, our first venue will be Veranda. Lots of V's in that sentence. With DT on the spy side, playing as Sorry. We see in the same game, I think.
Yep.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Sorry, an interesting choice. Very powerful character. No denying that. She has good bugs. Very hard to see her animations at times. But she's incredibly slow and Veranda is quite large. You're going to need to see a bit more activity if we're going to get a mission win from DeathTacticus, just because it takes 30 seconds to get across the map sometimes with the dress kicking along your legs.
Indeed. 34% on a first flirt, not playing it too quickly out yet.
Yeah, I don't mind timer flirt. We got plenty of time. You can always time ad. Veranda's a pretty good map for time ads, all things considered. But if Twin leaves us, we're gonna look like a fool. Okay. We do have 2 twins here, interestingly enough, but really not much going on. DeathTacticus isn't watching the Ambassador, which I think is something that is definitely advisable to newer players. is you want to be checking out what the ambassador is doing for a couple reasons. One is just if they're putting their dirty hands on anything, so you can get fingerprints. But also, just if you see someone do like a really nasty bug path by the ambassador, you give yourself another opportunity to win if you can then give them banana bread and purloin, example.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that DT's style is definitely a little bit slower, but prides themselves in being able to play most any kind of like pacing. So is able to do rushes, is able to find little tricky plays to do. But this one is definitely one of the more subtle, stable games.
Yeah, this is a good spot to stand in case the ambassador comes behind us. It looks like the ambassador is taking the other route this time, but this is a good place to both get our flirt and potentially get other missions. We could also do the same sort of thing here with the ambassador presumably going to leave the green bookcase from either here or the double agent conversation. Here's an opportunity. DT looking for it. It's definitely possible, actually. We could have taken that bug. It would have been a
I
bit
don't
hard to
know.
time.
It would have been a really awkward
Oh,
time.
hello.
The ambassador just gives it to us anyways. Surely we should be taking this bug. Beanie, though, is rotating all the way around for it. That said, Sari's standing bug is just so good, and I'm surprised that we didn't take it.
Yeah, I think she probably just has the best standing bug in the game, and it's not close.
Especially since
Green
we're taking
Purloin
this
is
Purloin.
fantastic. Because we can run away here too. If we're holding something when the green purloin comes off, we might find a way to get a win that we haven't really done much to deserve beyond the green test. It's been a very slow game otherwise. Let's see Beanie's reaction though. Definitely rotated over to see the list. We know it's gone, and we've taken a highlight, but it might be for statues. We're not 100% sure. Bug, bug, bug.
Oh, the bug. I think it was seen. We saw we had. Oh, was it not? Was it not? There's no real reaction. I thought it was seen. It was very visible on sniper cam. We were a highlight. It'd be hard to miss almost. Oh, okay, here's the shot.
And then comes the actual truth of the matter: is we are a lot more suspicious than we were pinned down for. This shot's actually quite impressive, honestly. Without the banana bread said, being this suspicious of someone means that Beanie's onto something that.
I'm
And they
I'm
had
gonna go on a
options, right? They could
limb.
have been the purloin, could have been the bug, could have been double statues. There's a lot of things that DeathTacticus did here, and you're always going to do things on Veranda, right?
I'm gonna go on a limb and say that it was like I'm like 98% sure about this bug, and now we're going statue to statue. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, the wind up to the path to statues too. In your orange dress, you can just slowly see them marching their way to the statue and just waiting for them to pick it up instead of going to the bookcase, for example.
Yeah,
Both of them in chat,
absolutely
by the way. If you
right.
guys want real insight, just read. We'll speculate and be wrong consistently. We got Beanie playing wheels here, and let's do it in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Oh, but Pwned, what happens when it goes up on YouTube?
Oh yeah, but then we'll say the things that are correct, and we'll steal them from chat, and nobody will know because they won't be able to see chat.
Exactly. That's why you can't mention chat. You just have to like say things that were in chat without giving any credit. We need to look good, Pwned. We need to look
Oh,
good.
you should read chat. Uran's got a good point. We got flirt here, 51%. Let's go. Just start from Beanie.
Yeah, 51% flirt. Pretty quick progress here. Of course, that is if we're not gonna just stand in here and timer flirt, which it's looking like we might. This is kind of like the Yeesh play that I've seen a lot of, where Yeesh, when I was doing research on him for the gold finals, I would always notice that if he got the green test on the first flirt, he'd stick around and try to get the second green test on timer flirt. But if he didn't, it would just be, I'm out of here.
Yeah, and it's hard to pin down, right? Like, if you're the sniper, this is the sort of thing where you can see it in research, and then it doesn't really apply. Maybe on a smaller map, maybe a 3 or 5, you can find some use for it, but on Veranda, it's going to be hard to actually, like, find application.
Yeah, 85% now. And now she leaves us. Ouch. I
That's
mean,
fine.
not really ouch this time around because we actually wanted her to leave so we could get the seduction target timing down a little bit more. We might go for a purloin here. No, instead just taking a reject.
The request into reject is always an interesting play. It's like, I want it, but I don't really want it. Oh, there we go, Beanie. Flirt. Seems like a reasonable choice. We've got lots of reasonable choices here. Ambassador's also in the vicinity.
Ambassador's gonna walk by us, not really close enough for any kind of bugging shenanigans. It would have had to be really hard to make that work. You could have tried to do like a bug on the way to Windows, but you just entered this conversation. Your wheels, the the odds of it working and you're getting away with it, and it's actually taking the bug taking, which is a very important part of that bug, not super high. I might have tried it, but it would probably not be advisable.
Yeah, we trash Wheels' bugs sometimes because it's different than any other bug. Banana Bread here into potential Purloin. Definitely taking, but it's going to be no Purloin. Highlight
Fascinating.
anyways.
We
Yucky
get
highlight.
highlight. I'm not sure what this is for. Maybe for real contact as
Speculation
the
there.
rest. Yeah, maybe for real contact as the rest of our conversation picks up highlights as well.
Yeah. One of the big things about Wheels is when he does a bug, he takes his hand off the armbar, and when he's just walking around, or in this case, rolling around, that's just a tell. Like you don't have to even necessarily see the bug itself. It's just the fact that he's taking his arms off of his armbar. That's enough. That makes his bugs kind of awkward if you know what you're looking for.
For sure.
Okay, Beanie,
Armbar,
what's the
by the
plan
way.
here? We're looking at
Armbar.
the ambassador. We're looking at Toby. It's going to be Purloin.
Purloin,
White
while
test
DT is
Purloin.
looking over at a swap suspect here, so maybe a really good timing out of Beanie. But we've got this drink. Unfortunately it's a white test. If it was actually a green test, this would be a lot better. But look at how much investment is being paid to Irish here. Finally, we zoom back over. Finally, we see the list is gone. Low lights begin to start being taken. Surely there'll be one coming off on Irish because no way Irish did that. And so
Uh,
far, these low lights are accurate.
we've gulped the drink, which is either incredibly telling or somewhat helpful. We definitely need our hands free. The most obvious plan here is bug into statues.
Ooh, that
Uh,
bug might have been really nice, except we accidentally got the wrong arm. The start of that bug, DT was actually looking like just the laser had just jagged over to the right side, and we were completely covered on it. DT, of course, realizing that Wheels is pathing by the ambassador, comes back over to look, sees the arm, but if I think it was the other arm, it'd be a lot harder for us to take that shot.
yeah, I also know. I said the most obvious way to finish would be bug swap. When I say something is obvious, that's not a good thing if you're the spy, because it's also obvious to the sniper, right? We'd rather not telegraph our plays, and I don't really think we had much option, though, like, because we didn't have an inspector fingerprint in pocket. Really, those are the only two missions that we could finish quickly. We could have done microfilm, I guess, if we wanted to.
Yeah. Now we are into courtyard. DeathTacticus on the spy side to start us off. It is now 1-1. Snipers all. We'll see if it continues to stay that way or if someone can kind of break free here. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Okay, DeathTacticus. Where are we going? Just around the statue a few times? Fine with that. Window pad? Fine with that too. You got choices.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll see one of those time ads you're so proud of.
Yeah, the the nice thing, I mean, the reason courtyard time ads happen, right, is no matter where you start, you're within 3 seconds of a window pad, and doing something in the first 3 seconds, if it's a bug or purloin or whatever, is usually good.
Sorry.
The problem is if you're me, then just everybody knows that, and all they're doing is watching for time ads, so it doesn't actually help.
Sorry, I just took a drink at the statue pad.
Ooh, that's always rough. If you saw that and the purloin didn't go off, would you reward them with a low light for being clever?
Me personally, no, but it would be, something to consider. It's like, huh, it's a little bit interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if you had it down to two people, and one of them is doing that, and the other person is not doing that, and then
The
both of
question
them,
is, does the spy know I have it down to 2 people? Because then they might have incentive
uh
to to do that kind
oh,
of thing.
Rocker getting the highlight for the briefcase. Not an untypical strategy, but it's not gonna help Beanie if the opponent's not doing anything. We're seeing one out of Hunu's book actually, just doing nothing and hoping that something happens that piques the sniper's interest in a bad way.
Yeah, we have quite a few highlights here from statue viz, and I think maybe fingerprints as well. So we have for sure some opportunities to try to like purloin frame, perhaps. Especially if you're gonna have a green test, that kind of thing. Here it comes, purloin, and it is in fact a green test. Very quickly, doesn't go over to Rocker because she already has to drink. Oh
Ambassador
no!
taking not helpful.
Ambassador taking the drink. So many Liliths are going to be available here. The contact did come off at the same time. Well, I say so many Liliths, but they're coming off pretty slowly here. Maybe Beanie not exactly sure where this came from, and the double whammy of both the contact and the purloin at the same time. Oh
No!
okay.
If you're gonna make reactions to a purloin and all you're going to do is literally just low light the spy, maybe don't do that. DeathTacticus, I think, actually had a boon here with the ambassador taking because it meant that the fade wasn't being watched. There wasn't as much interest, especially in the
fade
context of the
wasn't being
banana.
watched. Wow, Pwned.
No, but like the banana bread also going off. Okay, here come low lights, and
Oh wow.
at this
Oh
point,
wow.
Beanie looks like in a powerful position. Weird to take them that late, though. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe just a late assume real on the
Yeah,
banana
something like
bread.
that. Not
Beanie, tell us in
sure.
chat.
I mean, I mean, we had that other people in the conversation, in our conversation, that got loaded as well. And DT does look to be just waiting to run out of time. Beanie able to hold the shot, very nicely done. Whew. DeathTacticus showing the willingness to play different pacings, timing out in this game. We'll see if they can play something faster later on in the set, but this time it doesn't work out. Beanie holds very, very well off of the green purloin, and now is playing Smallman.
Yeah, I feel like DeathTacticus might have been trying to frame someone.
Well, yeah.
It's just whoever we're trying to frame, be it someone who I think just got low lit, or potentially maybe like this Carlos here, who's the SDA. Clearly didn't work out, and I don't think there was really that much pressure on Beanie. Like holds are always impressive, but I really don't know who he was meant to shoot if not us after the purloin.
Yeah, absolutely. Beanie now trying to break away. It's always that question. After you win your sniper game on a venue, can you win the spy and get an advantage in the set? In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Hey, what do you call this character?
Smallman?
I call him good. Smallman time, boys. He's also called Smallman. So Smallman in
on
Courtyard is like the least interesting thing for like Smallman things, but he does have quick time adds and quick watch checks in general.
Yeah,
That's really the only boon here.
where he's weakest of all places, because just
If you,
the high visibility of everything, and you actually have the downside might be bigger than the upside with the kneel down to Purloin, given Purloin is so big of a potential finish.
it's not a
in Courtyard.
cost, right? If you're already able to see the tray at any point, kneeling down slightly further isn't actually going to make it
Well,
worse.
kneeling down could be very important because like it's a very noticeable animation, so you always pretty much know when Smallman's been offered to, compared to maybe your attention slipped on other people.
That's a really good banana bread. Because the DA is in our conversation, we get full credit. The SDA is in an even busier conversation.
Which, by the way, doesn't pick up the same highlights we got.
Aw, that's unfortunate. Or very skillful to be able to determine the double agent in the first minute of the game. But I think it's just a bit of misfortune there for Beanie and a bit of fortune there for GT.
Yeah, it might be a little bit speculative. It's one of those things where KCM used to do this kind of thing a lot, where he'd do some speculative lights after a contact, and especially if there was a second contact, you could use that to really narrow the party.
Yeah, I think contacts in general, especially multiple contacts, we think of them as a very beginner thing to do, where beginners will, in giggling while doing it, will do 5 banana breads and going, haha, I said the word. And then people realize that it does give these lowlights, does give alibis to people who are outside the conversation. I do think multiple context does have this sort of power at a very high level, where everything's just kind of in the mind, where multiple context really throws it off.
Says DT, Beanie never picks Cowboy as DA, and that's weird because I would have just assumed DAs are random. I don't pick my DAs ever.
Huh. I mean, I'm concerned that he's searching into DA lights at all. It's a very concerning thing. because it probably implies a lot of things. Like he knows a lot about their spy picks also.
Yeah. Now the question with doing so much research often is can you integrate it well into your sniper play? Because if you're letting other things go or looking at these random research facts, then it might not be the best. Oh, Irish taking a lot of heat right now. Lots of staring. The shot does come off.
Yeah, if you're Irish spy, you have a hole in your shoulder with laser burn. Just really thinking about it. And for Beanie, this is a big deal. This is 3-1, and not unsimilar to our first set, coming out of courtyard with a 2-game lead.
I'm trying to figure out if she had full fingerprints because I remember her returning a briefcase earlier. We'll
I mean,
see.
she deserved to die, right?
She did have the same contact.
She did contact. She definitely had at least one fingerprint. She did
One
statues late.
fingerprint.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, no second fingerprint, unfortunately for DT. So maybe that's like exactly what I was just about to talk about. Where if you're looking for these research things, like we got these highlights, right? These really nice highlights because of that research into Cowboy SDA, I guess. But then fumbled a little bit on remembering if there was a fingerprint on this statue. Fumbled a little bit on the tracking exactly, and takes a civ shot for it. That is one of the biggest things about research. It can be a huge strength, but track the pretty much the premier research player will be the first to tell you cannot let your research get in the way of your actual game.
You have to still remain solid. That's true with any true tactic. I mean, it's the same thing with behavioralism, right? Like you can do low lights and clever stuff all you want, but you can't miss bugs all day. You're just not going to win enough games. And we're competitive. We want to win games. That's why we're here. So DT trying to win on high rise with boots, and we'll do it in 3, 2, 1. Playing it. To note, this is high rise 3 of 5. 4 of 8 is also in the potential pool. Per day, we only need 3 missions.
Oh, come on, ST. Come on. That's not fair.
That was frame unperfect. I think if he stayed literally any moment longer, it would have stayed, and it would have been a green test too.
Yeah, that would have been really nice, especially because on a high rise 3 of 5, you do have this idea of going for a bit of a rush play, 2 green flirts, going straight into center statues, and then going straight into contact. You know, finishing at like 2 minutes 40 seconds, 2 minutes 30 seconds left in the game. The sniper's really not going to want to shoot because they don't think you got flirt done yet. But that has been sort of locked out in this particular game. We're going to be playing a little bit more of a standard high rise game, I think. By the way, bug is off.
Oh, bug is off. What are you doing, sir? Bug is the best mission in the game. It's really, if you're doing bug off in high rise, you're really relying on either your ability to hit green purloins or green difficult fingerprints, or you just are incredibly afraid of your opponent's ability to catch bugs, which I don't necessarily think that's the case, right?
What it says to me is that you're really trying to create as much ambiguity as possible, and AIs will get shot more often, but
until you white test this purloin right now.
Yeah.
And then you die.
Speaking of which, we take the highlight.
3, 2, 1. Beanie, shoot him! I did a countdown. I made it easy for you.
Wait,
Beanie less interested. Oh, did we white test it just for the fingerprint? Or no, we must have stumbled into it. Surely.
We stop talk there and then immediately sip. That's a hard tell. That's a hard tell for for etiquette.
Good news, DT, you're not dead for the purloin. Bad news, the reason you might not be dead is simply because the banana bread hasn't been said yet, and you haven't gone to mid statues. We do have the fingerprint. I think that's our win condition. Because oh no.
What? But we were the purloin take. What? No, what? What is
Someone's gonna die, and it's not gonna be us.
But I mean, we don't have a reel now, so that's very good. Like our argument to not bring us back up.
Beanie's being very patient though, with 2 highlights here in both Twin and Cowboy, and a real banana thread for them. I think what might be happening is that because they are both so suspicious, he doesn't know which to shoot and is keeping. Now it's even more confusing.
Well, Cowboy should be out now because he was taking a drink during that contact, And Twin might have split. Oh my goodness! The shot comes off. I think for that exact reason, Irish wasn't the highlight. It were the other two. But Cowboy was taking a drink, and Twin might have split just before the contact. And with all of that narrowing down, it's only one guest left at this party, left on low lit. And Beanie decides, hey, I think I'm confident in my lowlights. I can take this shot. And no, you cannot.
Reminder, there were 8 good lowlights. Most of the lowlights, perfect. It's just the one bad one that lose the game.
Yeah, wow. Okay. DT managing to take a win that didn't seem very probable. Beanie kind of fumbling it here, which is very likely to let DT back into the set. It is still high rise 3 of 5, which means spies have a lot of play, but DeathTacticus is quite a good sniper.
Yeah, high rise is still the place where you want to get the win now. The maps are going to get harder. High rise can be a bit more variable, and like balcony, it's just a place that you want to get the W. To have the momentum in particular. Beanie here playing Disney, and let's do it in 3, 2, 1, playing it. We had Bug on the table, by the way.
Yeah, Bug this time on. We were talking about the cost of Bug being off last game. Right up until that Purloin kind of threw our commentary off the rails. But Bug being on forces the sniper to spend a lot of attention on it, and that's the reason. That's one of the biggest reasons why it's so good. It's not just a good hardtail to get away with; it's a hardtail that just sucks all of the sniper's attention. You can get away with so many different things when the sniper has to watch that. So
Yeah, I mean, one of the big problems with high rise 3 of 5 is because there's no like swap or microfilm. Things that are happening on the right side of the party from the sniper's perspective aren't particularly interesting, except for maybe in specs. So Bug really is that one mission that really pulls the attention. 4 of 8's a different monster entirely, and unfortunately we're not going to see it today.
Yeah, no 4 of 8, although 4 of 8 is, of course, in the venue pools, just not this one.
I see puns in chat. YouTube, you've done well. You've avoided it.
Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, be glad you did not have to see these puns.
Uh-oh, that's a red test banana bread.
Oh,
Are we
that's
dead?
not good for Beanie.
We're
But
not
it
dead.
doesn't seem like it was seen, because look at this. We are Disney. Our arm is covered in this nice dark black suit, very, very, very handsome, very dapper, but it also blends us into the background here against Kane's dark suit, against the darkened area behind high rise, just this back area here.
And the low
this
light of
kitchen.
general. It's
Yeah. There's just a lot of things that we were blending into right there.
If you're gonna do a cough, and I don't suggest it, but if you're gonna do a cough, back facing with Disney's generally gonna be one of your better coughs. The true best cough, of course, is small men literally anywhere, because they'll never see you.
But then they'll realize, no one else did a cough. I wonder who it could possibly be.
It's like seeing the clock at 5 minutes, and you're like, wait a second, I don't think Courtyard has 5 minutes.
Ooh boy!
Oh
wow!
That's a quick shot. Double Prince, presumably.
I would have to imagine. Let's see here. Center inspect and there fingerprint for Cowboy. Irish potential bug suspect actually gets brought back up after a contact. But I don't think that this was actually a third finger. This is just a first fingerprint.
Yeah, I mean,
this is the second time DeathTacticus has messed up print count on Irish specifically.
She is more suspicious, though. She does have a good bug, and she has nice hair, and those are both good reasons to shoot them. I don't blame him. I do, unfortunately, think that he needs to get a win on the board, though. 4-2 is not a place you want to be if you're going to be winning this set outright, at least.
Yeah, we saw Lazy Bear at 4-2 last time, and we were like, this is a little bit concerning for Lazy Bear, and we know how that one ended now. DeathTacticus, now on the spy side of Ballroom. If there's anywhere to be taking spy wins and shutting down Sniper, this could absolutely be the one.
Yeah, for sure. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. Calling him Kane today? Let's call him Kane today. He's got a few names, but Kane seems good. We have missed our seduction target in passing. but we'll be fine. We've got plenty of time. 3:30 on the clock.
Yeah, we've seen some different play styles from DeathTacticus so far. This has been the methodical game, the timeout game. We saw just getting low lit and purloining. It was kind of weird on high rise. We'll see how he decides to play it this time. So far, 30 seconds have gone by. We're taking it pretty slow.
Another request. These boys are just requesting every chance they get. Not really doing much with it. This does get us out of the conversation without breaking etiquette, but it's just an interesting choice. I know a few players will request pretty happily, including Slappy Davis, who's still in Diamond, actually.
Yeah, it's true. Slappy Davis with that miss shot from your end, huh? Pwned with pain in his voice because that kept him out of Diamond actually this season.
Whoops, my bad. Should have paid your end off more. But DeathTacticus, 34% in pocket. No real options here, just looking at the party. The fingerprintable bookcase will help us in the future. But like even this contact is pretty yucky. I think
Yeah,
this is the sort of
party is
situation.
kind of slow. This party
Yeah,
is being very calm.
like this is where you go get inspect. Like inspect in the middle of the game isn't always fantastic, but now the party's come and helped us. We had the flirt and we had the contact if we want it. DT being quite respectful, honestly.
Yeah, and honestly, one of the biggest problems is the ambassador has been remarkably safe this entire time. We haven't had many good opportunities for bugs, and more importantly, the sniper has not had to watch for bugs very hard.
Yeah,
So
I suspect Beanie's count is quite good in all things. Like he shouldn't be dropping fingerprints or inspects with the ambassador and the tray intact. DeathTacticus is looking at a timer flirt here, and it's going to put us in a bit of a bind. Ballroom definitely has the ability to do quick purloins or inspect swaps, but they're not really the plays that you were dreaming about when you started the game of Ballroom.
yeah, one thing to note is that Smallman recently walked by the ambassador, so there might be some idea of framing him like with a purloin. As I say that, Smallman takes a drink and is no longer frameable for a pearl. What?
Or, hear me out, he's small man and we shoot him. We're just seeing a lot of high suspect characters getting shot here. It's been from DT the first two times, with just Irish dying a few times for what is a print and not being able to truly pin down what the second print would have been. In this case, it's Smallman dying for I really don't know.
It must have been a Phantom Purloin. You know what? Beanie just confirmed in chat. It is indeed a Phantom Purloin.
Yep. You have 10 seconds. I mean, the reason why it's so scary with Smallman, right, with the Phantom Purloin, is Smallman can then go and dance for the last few seconds, and he's the hardest character to shoot for obvious reasons. He's just less character to shoot. He did also have mid statues, but you can confirm these sort of things if you have 10 seconds. There's no huge rush, and unfortunately, I think it's just a true Phantom. He just really was convinced.
Yeah, very unfortunate there for Beanie, but DeathTacticus breathing a sigh of relief. Now just has to snipe a ballroom game, which is very, very doable to get back to get the set back to tied. You know, it'd be 5-5. DeathTacticus can calm down, reset, and say, all right, even if this does go to overtime, I'm going to beat you there. But first, has to control this sniper game. If not, Beanie will be on match point for 2 games in a row. We'll see who comes out victorious in this honestly kind of defining moment of the match, I think.
On your count.
All right, in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I have a take in mind open. I want your opinion on it.
Okay.
My opinion is that Gallery is the map that is most likely to go to the better player, and I think Ballroom is the map that is most likely to go to the player who is playing better. Like I think the person who's like playing a better set of SpyParty is going to win Ballroom more often than any other map. I think
I'm fine with that take. Yeah, I like that idea. I mean, I don't know the difference in why Gallery is like.
I don't want to get too deep into the Gallery conversation because we're looking at Ballroom, we're looking at 31% flirt, and we're looking with fingerprint. But Gallery is really brutal for the sniper because there's just so many people and so many things to see. But on the spy, you run yourself out of time and You have to really
fair.
plan your missions.
So yeah, you're saying a gallery takes a lot of experience to play.
Yeah,
100%.
but I think ballroom, like if you're playing well, you can really go into ballroom going, I can get a 2-0 here. I believe in myself. If you're playing poorly, you do not want to be dealing with the low angle and people doing middle statues like we are and like Disney are right now.
Look at this. We're at center statues, but we're not really being kind of noted there, I
You got to get
think.
this highlight.
We haven't picked up the highlight. DT has been watching the ambassador very, very closely. Has been a lot of danger. Lots of Toby offers on the other side of the venue, and was taking the gallery angle. I'm not sure if we got seen at these statues, and if we haven't been, that's going to be huge.
Yeah, I mean, so typically when we're talking about missed missions, we're talking about like you didn't see the swap or you didn't see the bug.
Right.
We don't usually talk about missing center statues, and if you do miss it, it's huge, right? Because your count is just completely ruined.
I think we're picking up the highlight here because we are known to be completing fingerprints, and DT was watching that bug very closely, so knows we don't have the bug. But if we don't know that Beanie was in our statues, we're just gonna flirt and we're gonna contact and we're gonna win this game.
Yeah, I mean, we really want Ambassador to be nowhere near us right now. If Ambassador was to come into this conversation next to us, it'd be a real pain in the butt. But the other problem is we need to finish Flirt. We have 70 seconds left, and that
Known
not
fake
particularly
though.
helpful.
Known fake. Even with the DT read of Cowboy is never the real DA for Beanie. Neither one of them is in any ways.
We need to start moving, and I think it might be getting really rough here for Beanie. Like, DT is not a particular Flirt watcher, but if you have to do 2 Flirts here in quick succession, you really don't want to be doing that against anybody as a highlight. Okay, what's the plan here?
79% on the Flirt. 36 seconds left on the clock. We might be running up against the clock here because of the double agent doesn't want to join the conversation, but there's a safety off from DT.
Could be a shot in 10 seconds if he really wants to put it in. It would be for...
Oh, double agent. Come on.
It's not going to be double agent. We're gulping to leave ourselves the opportunity to do the purloin.
Oh, no.
We do also need to do the flirt, so it could be just us going to this conversation and doing the purloin also. Here it comes request quickly. Toby doing a little dance to get to us. We're going to have to finish the flirt and...
We have to finish the
green
flirt. There's
purloin.
no overtime.
We could do another mission. We always have the opportunity to do a banana bread or a bug or something if we want to stop
but now DeathTacticus has to know that there was something that he missed because he knows it was a fake earlier on the contact, which means that even in these purloin, there has to be something that he missed, which means that the effectiveness of these inspects that we got seemingly under the radar.
That's behind the pillar. That's sneaky. 8 seconds. Where are you shooting?
It's not us. It's not us. You weren't even in the picture.
So
Disney
I was talking.
Takes the bullet.
I was talking about the pillar, looking from the spy side, the leftmost pillar, but with the hyper rotate over to get a shot on Disney, we were somehow behind another pillar. Beanie, just a real cheeky play. Silent games are really hard on Ballroom to find a shot on. I think it actually kind of caught DT off guard that the overtime started.
Yeah, and I think that I said that it didn't actually matter that we had the sneaky center inspects, but Disney had center inspects. So I think that the assumption was that DT missed something from someone else, someone he knew had the inspects, and Disney was not actually in that chain. It was just us, and it was in not even Queen because she was actually holding a drink that wasn't an offer. It was just us in that chain for this purloin. So if DT was on top of this, we are the only suspect. But I think just going under the radar on those inspects was so critical.
Yeah, as a reminder, you don't have to be non-suspicious, and it's actually really hard to be non-suspicious. You just need to be less suspicious than someone else. And in this case, because Disney was seen at the back statues, took a highlight for it, and we didn't. We might have been second most suspicious in this party, but who cares? We got the W. Beanie now taking the lead here.
6-4. It's match point.
Have we played 2 games of Ballroom?
Yeah.
No, we have. We're on to Redwoods. And Beanie has 2 chances to just win the set outright.
Yeah. Is it 7? Yeah, 7. Or
Not at
6.
7. We're definitely
No, we're
playing
not
more
7.
Spy Party.
It's 6. It's 6. We're at 6. Wait, where are we at? Oh god, what OP scoreboard? What the heck are we at in
Oh, you
score
beat me
right
to it,
now?
damn. Whatever, I'll put
It's
it in Chinese.
5-3. We're not actually on match point yet. I got myself like a map ahead. I thought we were one map further on than we were. So it's not rather than 6-4, we are at 5-3.
Yep. OP's bad, Dells is good. We got this. And we're doing some Redwoods. We got Irish, who's been shot a lot today. Maybe not the best choice if you're trying to not get shot. But she's a good spy, and we'll do it in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, DT now on the spy side, playing as Irish. It kind of needs to win the spy game, really.
What's our last map?
Oh,
If we get there, it could be 7-3 in
yeah,
theory.
it could be, but our last one would be Aquarium.
Ooh, another map. We've had a couple maps here in a row that have a lot of cover, a lot of opportunities for the spy and the snipers to get wins. DT just needs to execute on one of these spy games, and Redwoods is about as likely as it's going to get. It's been under 50% in its debut season in SCL for the sniper.
Yeah.
Or, hear me out, we do literally nothing.
Just not even flirting. Like our STs in this conversation. Okay, finally we go for it.
DT, I think this was true. He did it in the set, in the finals. He's been very respectful of his opponents, and for good reason. I mean, Beanie's up in the set. You want to be respectful, but what you're respectful about should be at least somewhat based on what your opponent actually watches. And these like super delayed flirts are something I wouldn't personally be doing against Beanie because I just don't know if Beanie is someone who's hyper watching flirts. He's no David W, for example.
Yeah, no David W, no Rhythmic Sheep, none of these famous flirt pairs. And we definitely could be going for a frame here. We've seen this a couple times though, and it hasn't really worked out.
Yeah, I mean it's a take. If you've done a lot of research, and it sounds like DT has, you can definitely lean to frames. The problem with frames in general is they're not particularly reliable. In a sense that, in the same way we talked about Courtyard, right? You have a lot of control when you're just doing missions. It's your fault if you do good missions or bad missions. With frames, one, it's the sniper's choice if they want to shoot or not. Bye bye, Alice. Going for the bug path there, which is presumably the reason
Ooh.
for the. Ooh, into statues. Alice actually very suspicious
Yeah,
there, and it's all
perhaps trying to
DT's
frame
doing.
our starting target.
But the other problem is the AI can just choose not to do things. If you're waiting with 30 seconds left and nobody goes to statues, for example, like that's nothing you really had control over. Alice,
Alice
chill,
it goes to another. I mean, it's not completing
ma'am.
inspects, but it's more suspicion. That said, 50 seconds on the clock. We've spent a lot of time trying to set this up, and Alice just takes this book out, which means it's going to be kind of hard to frame her going forward.
Yeah, it's probably a nice thing for Beanie, though it does look like he has to keep an eye on things like the bug path potentially too. There's a lot of
Yeah.
highlights. We're definitely not one of them. We're actually a low light now.
Never mind.
It
I
would have
think
opened up the opportunity to do like the 0-second time ad game if we're just gonna get ourselves caught back up and then complete missions. But really, I don't think that's ever been the plan.
yeah, and it's hard to say because the strongest of frames also allow you to finish missions reasonably if it falls through. But DT committing to doing just none of these missions, now realizing this is a bit too far, a bit too late. We're gonna have to go time ad. But even then, okay, now we have this.
I didn't hear a
This
slow
hang.
beep. It might have been well timed actually.
Yeah, it was timed exactly, so there'd have to be a hang. But there's just not going to be
This
any
is smart. The
overtime.
demand is smart.
There's not going to be any overtime though. You can't. I mean, you have to delegate this, right? Yeah, delegate to option taken. We're gonna have to go in and probably take a bug here.
We are going
Wow, that bug was
ham. Let's
actually
go.
really good. But we still need more time.
We still need 3 more missions. We can do 3 missions in 20 seconds. We're fine. We can do 3 missions in 59 seconds. We're fine.
Another time ad. And I'm not sure if it's been long enough, but there's a little quirk with time ads and the clock hanging is if you've gone far enough in to the clock hanging, you can get it to be just even though it's a white time ad, it'll still say 000 on the sniper clock.
Yeah, we're at 17 currently. The back window. Oh, that's not good.
no!
That's not good.
No! That's not what you want at all.
What a way to lose this set. Like
It's
you're
not
down
done.
6.
It's not done.
No, it's not this. It's only 6-3. Shit. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Excuse my language. DT. What a way to go down to match point in this set. With this really awkward finish. And I think DT still had winning chances, hilariously. It's just the cough is just one thing too many.
Yeah, the DA bailing was really not good at all because I think that we actually had a reasonable finish here right at the end of this game. With if this contact comes off, Alice is taking our purloin. We just need one more flirt. You know, it's very very reasonable to find this win. We still might get shot for it, mind, but it's reasonable. After the DA bails, that's a lot harder.
I'm kind of hoping. I know casters are meant to be unbiased, but I'm really hoping for the comeback for two reasons. One, I want to see more SpyParty. I always enjoy watching more SpyParty. But two, after that flub of me calling the set and it not being over, I really want to eat crow. If DK can just prove me wrong, bring it back, and we win overtime on balcony 10-8 or something silly, I can feel like I've made a mistake and be proud of it. We've got Beanie playing some rocker here, and this is match point. He's got 3 of them in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, DeathTacticus, his sniper just really hasn't been all on point so far. Lots and lots of spy wins from Beanie so far. And it's Redwoods now. You gotta crack down.
If I'm Beanie and I'm looking at this ambassador at Green Bookcase and seeing that DeathTacticus has been quite jumpy on people doing fingerprints, maybe getting that timely delegate to whoever picks up that Green Bookcase might be the game-winning move.
That would be nice.
Bonus points if they also go to this bar. Ambassador's starting off this game getting quite handsy, or printy, or whatever word is going to be best here. Hey, General! You're up for wanting to be top suspect in this party, because it's not us. We have 51% flirt. We're not taking this bug, though we definitely could have.
I think we're on the angle for it. 2 green flirts, though, means our pacing's going to be a lot easier than DT's.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, DT I think was committing to the frame game and then had to bail out in post-game time. Beanie has options, right?
General wants to die so bad. Look at this.
The problem with General going to the statue is we're not going to be able to pull off the swap because it's just going to be watched. Like, the fade is actually going to be hawked down because it's so on the nose.
General, though, it's such a free frame, especially if Beanie's aware of this. Not really looking mind at General that much, but has to be
go to bar. Nah, middle of the statue. Why not?
Okay,
Why not?
Okay. But imagine you're DT, you're up against the wall at match point, and you see this AI. What do you think about it?
You get really mad and you don't shoot them, and then you shoot someone else because you've been watching General the whole time and it's wrong.
Because now General is over completing inspection.
Oh yeah, we're going for it.
Completing fingerprints.
He's getting fingerprints, and we're gonna swap for him at the same time.
Swap for General.
We're doing the inspect first.
Wait, are we not swapping for General? I think that would have had General die immediately. I think General was dead. Yeah, I think if we swap here, General's just dead, like outright, and Beanie wins the set. Now, obviously, as you mentioned earlier, you don't have to be non-suspicious. You just have to be less suspicious than someone else. And General's really given us that real easy this game. But
yeah, I think the real concern for the sniper is you know that you've been tunneling General, right? And it's just like, if something else happens, it's going to be quite easy to pull off a panic shot. That's General out, but the shot's going to come off. Precisely what I'm talking about. Beanie pulling off what is actually now a very impressive 7-3 set. Just framing literally the other highlight in the party. There was 3 of them and 2 of them were out. That's just quick math. That's the only person who's suspect left.
Oh god, Disney had inspects too.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, what a rough game of. I mean, Redwoods is always going to be rough, but what a rough game for the sniper. Just having 2 people who've completed inspects and one of them's out for the BB. I don't blame it, but it's rough. You don't wish this luck on anybody except for maybe your opponent.
That was a very, very active party, very annoying party. I think that getting General and Salmon knocked out there in the end game was actually really bad if DT is able to hold a shot onto Disney, who may have had inspects, yes, but didn't really have many times close to the ambassador, didn't have any fingerprints, so not really a shot I think DT would normally take. But being down in the set, being pressured by General and by Salmon, and when suddenly that snaps, like it's like a rubber band, right? All this tension, and suddenly General, Salmon, they're gone.
It was clearly a frame target, by the way. If you look at the banana bread timing, Disney was starting a talk, and we did the green a few seconds in. It was perfect for framing Disney with either a white test or a green test banana bread.
Yeah, a bit of luck as well that the SDA was in that conversation with Disney. Only 3 other characters compared to any other place in the venue.
Yeah, of course. You need a bit of fortune. Beanie had quite a bit of it and a lot of skill here to pull off the win against DeathTacticus. That's 2 upsets, I think, at least by the community standards, and 2 players that you don't really want to see in the round of 16 with Beanie and Hunu going through. GG's to both DeathTacticus and Lazy Bear. It's not like they played poorly. It's just these players played out of their mind. They were both on fire.
For sure. That was a lot of exciting SpyParty, and 2, well, 1 really surprising result, 1 kind of mildly surprising result going into the round of 16. Thank you, Pwned, for having cast this with me. Thank you, Dells, for stepping up and hosting. Couldn't be here quite literally without you.
The bracket up on screen, by the way. And additionally, with Dells losing to Adafahish, we're gonna have to figure out a real nickname for you, buddy. Ada, sure. Ada. There just aren't that many favorites left. Like Year-End won today, that it was close, and just looking at it, it's like, who else? Like T-Flame, Rob, like these players. I mean, Shinobi, like or Pwn Noob, obviously. Whoever comes out of our match are gonna be, but we haven't played our set yet. Like Screw Loose also. Of the players who are through, these are not their big names. DeathTacticus, the previous winner, is out. Lazy Bear, the previous winner, is out. The winners of different things. We are in a spot where we're going to have someone who hasn't won a tournament in a bit if it's not you, Opie.
Yeah, I mean, Yeesh is the most likely to find, all previous tournament winner to find a win here, but
yeah, I mean,
we have a lot of new faces going into the later stages.
Oh, for sure. I'm excited about Tabsy Rov looking there. Whatever. I mean, a lot of these matches are now just matchups that we weren't necessarily written in. Like, if Yiddibrajim can beat Legorv, why can't they beat Year-End? Like, oh yeah, Legorv lost too. Yeah, that's the thing that also happened. Like, looking at this bracket, if you're doing fantasy, don't worry about it. You're like, oh no, my teams were in. Everybody's teams were in.
I want you to know, my fantasy is that I had doubled Nessie, I had doubled DT, I had Lazy Bear Sniper, I had Legorv Sniper. Like, what am I doing?
Mine's doing fine until I beat you in a bit, but literally everything's ruined. So don't worry about that. Thank you guys for joining us. OB already did the goodbyes, but this has been good fun. And we'll see you guys, if not midweek, definitely on Saturday next week with presumably some round of 16 matches.